I'm often asked what is the one thing that other organisations, projects and teams can learn from looking at Formula One motor racing. The performance pyramid is the way in which I structure my answer. And my answer is always the same. The one thing that I think other organisations can learn from looking at Formula One is the incredible speed at which the teams learn and adapt. They are constantly responding to competitors, to regulations, and of course developing their own innovations. All of these activities are occurring simultaneously to make sure they remain competitive. So the starting point and the first element in the performance pyramid is constant learning. However, for the learning to take place, you require two other critical areas. These support the learning process. The first is a clear sense of purpose or focus for the organisation or team or project. Unless you are clear about what success looks like as to what you're all trying to achieve, then you will lack the focus to ensure the learning is directed in the right way. So focus becomes the top of the pyramid. But focus and learning themselves will not work unless you have the right culture to support the learning process. You have to have what I call a winning culture. This provides the base of the pyramid. Let's now look at each of these levels in a bit more detail. If we start with focus, the question is, what does winning look like for you? I often find that when the senior team of an organisation or a project are asked this question, they often come up with many different answers. The key is to be clear as to what the ultimate objective is and what other factors might support this. Whether this is winning successive world championships or beating your closest rival to third place in the Constructors' Championship, every Formula One team has a very clear focus on what they are trying to achieve. Many organisations, as they grow and expand, lose this sense of focus. The leadership challenge is to bring that clarity back. Without it, you will not be able to maximise performance as everyone is focusing on different agendas. So how does learning occur? We use a very simple concept called plan, do, review. You start with a plan as to the steps you need to go through to achieve what you're trying to achieve, which links back to focus. You then try it out. You do, and then you review. The thing that differentiates Formula One teams from other organisations is the emphasis that they place on reviewing. They review constantly, whether they win or lose, whether they are racing or practising or developing a component. To do this, they have a huge body of data to draw on, but they will also use qualitative data, such as the impressions the drivers have regarding the performance of the car. After a race, a Formula One team will spend at least a couple of hours involving up to 60 people, many of these located remotely, reviewing their performance and taking the learnings forward into the next planned cycle. They will not spend months and months trying to get more data. They develop an idea, try it out and learn. It is a process of constant experimentation. And critically, the faster you can try the next experiment, the faster you can learn. But learning and focus are not enough. The foundation of the pyramid is being able to build a winning culture. There are 4 aspects to this culture that we have found to be particularly important in supporting winning teams in Formula One. The first is constant communication, holding frequent face-to-face meetings, telling everyone, and that can be over 1,000 staff in some teams, what has happened and what the plan is going forward. Not via email or intranets, but face-to-face. The second is a no-blame philosophy, ensuring there is an environment of psychological safety, where all members of the team feel enabled to be honest about their own performance and that of their colleagues. This allows problems to be identified and resolved more effectively and quickly. The antithesis of the no-blame philosophy is one where everyone is trying to avoid blame by not taking risks and also by blaming others when things go wrong. The result is that the real problems are not identified and so cannot be resolved, and therefore they will happen again. The third element is a long-term perspective. When there is much pressure to change and adapt, organisations and teams can lose a sense of what they're ultimately trying to achieve, and so become too reactive to external factors, such as competitors. The final, fourth element is a one-team mindset. All organisations and projects are made up of multiple teams who have to work together and collaborate and coordinate to achieve the end result. It is essential that silo mentality is removed, as overall performance is dependent on how teams come together rather than how they stay apart. Your customer doesn't care who does what, but they do care if the whole experience isn't delivering the value they anticipated. So to summarise, high performance in organisations, projects and teams can be seen at 3 levels: focus, learning and culture. For learning to occur, it is essential that there is a clear focus and enabling culture. This is the role of leadership in high performance. Constantly ensuring that the organisation has a clear focus that is shared and understood by all, and also that through leadership behaviours, they're enabling the winning culture, creating the right environment for learning to occur. The role of teamwork is therefore to drive the learning, to make sure that the organisation is constantly improving, adapting and adjusting to continually stay ahead.